much. Said I don't believe in the concept of getting married and having kids because it takes away my year of my life.
It gave me a huge inspiration to understand that what I actually wanted to become.
That's like every Indian's dream, right?
This is the era of critical thinking, creative thinking. Your brain cells stop developing at the age of about 7 or 8. The child's mind is like a blank page. That's why we learn our whole language by the age of 3. शाहरुख खान का एक शो था, आप 5वीं पास.
Yes.
क्यों था?
So that again brings back to today's topic of ours, that why early childhood is the most important part of our whole growing up journey. Welcome everyone. This is your host and those founder and CEO Aerobe, Neha Chauhan, and today we have a very special guest with us, Miss Monica. She is the founder of a preschool named called as Caterpillar. Am I right, ma'am? And today's episode is going to be very very special because आज हम लोग एक ऐसे topic के बारे में बात करेंगे which is very rare to find, mostly because I think of 2 reasons: that people don't have much awareness about it or experience into that particular domain, and second thing, you need a lot of expertise. You have to be part of that world to actually understand how important that segment is, which we are not paying enough attention to. But before we come on to that segment, welcome Monica ma'am. It's our honor to have you here. How are you feeling, ma'am? Are you enjoying the GSLC event? How's your day coming along? You must be exhausted. It's been a whole day.
It's been very refreshing, and it's always a great experience to listen to such great minds, and you can't just ever get enough.
Right.
So yeah, it's been a great day. I'm not tired yet.
Lovely. Ma'am, so you are into the education world, and we were just talking now, you were into the GRE and all of those exam preparation. Now you're a founder yourself. Before we come on to your work area, I would like you to tell our viewers a little bit about your journey also. That women in business, education world, coming out from the job sector. What has been your journey like? Did you always know that you're going to become very successful one day and be sitting at this position?
Oh no, I actually never imagined. Unfortunately, when we grew up back then, we didn't have enough exposure to options that someone can become. But even when I grew up, always I knew that I have a teacher inside my heart.
Right.
So I wanted to be one. But I didn't have much of a choice. So everyone in my family that time was doing a master's in business administration. So my mother said, okay, you also do an MBA.
Right.
And I've got a good score, and I studied my MBA, passed out. And I also got my placement. But I denied it. The teacher inside me was still bouncing somewhere. And the institute where I was doing my cat coaching from, they offered me a job.
Oh, wow. That's like every Indian's dream, right?
So that teacher is who I always used to look up to. I was going to become one, and I was really excited. I said, oh, wow, I'm getting placed after doing a MBA, but I'm still getting to become a teacher.
Yes.
So fine, I started, teaching CAT, GRE, GMAT, IELTS, TOEFL, all that. I was doing very well.
Oh.
And then I had a change of the city.
Right.
I moved here. I've still changed on the company, continue with the same job. But a corner of my heart still says that.
Right.
But maybe this is not it.
Right.
And then I was married into a lovely joint family.
Right.
We had little toddlers going around.
Right.
And I felt that the best part of my day was when I used to spend time with those little ones.
Right.
And it gave me a huge inspiration to understand that what I actually wanted to become.
Right.
So I one fine day told my husband that, you know what, this is I want to do. Plus kids.
Right.
Open a preschool.
Right.
This is 2 things that I love the most.
Right.
And I'm passionate.
And you shifted your whole...
It was a huge change. I moved from 18 years old to 2 years old.
Right.
And it was lovely.
Right.
Till date, it's been 8 years.
Right.
I'm running this school. And every year I try to explore something more, something better. Because, there's such beautiful minds. They're so inquisitive, the kind of questions they ask, the kind of answers they give.
Right.
You can't just imagine.
Right.
We've been molded. We are living under a certain setup, mental setup that our parents have given us.
Right.
इसको ऐसे ही करते हैं, इसको ऐसे ही बोलते हैं.
Right.
बच्ची को अभी तक नहीं पता है कि ऐसे ही करना है, ऐसे ही बोलना है. So I learned from those kids a lot. and we strongly practice something that is called as open education.
Open education, what is that?
So open education is where I am not going to give a closure to the topic that I'm teaching the child. Say for example, I told them a story. But I'm not going to give them moral.
Oh, story without a moral.
Yes, it is for them to. हम बच्चों को कैसे स्टोरी बताते हैं? बेटा ये है moral of the story है. You know, where there's a will, there's a way.
We give them a decision based on that.
When a decision, we've already given them an output. Why? The child's mind is like a blank page. I say let them figure out उन्होंने उसमें से क्या सीखा वो समझने दीजिए. Right. So there's this very popular story that I keep on telling wherever I go. It has somehow settled into my mind. There was this one child. So it was say 4 years old that we were talking to. So we told them the story of crow, the thirsty crow.
Right.
So अच्छा पूरा story बताया. We asked them, बेटा आपको क्या समझ में आया? So one child is like, मैम अगर इसको crow को पानी पीना था इसने इतना मेहनत क्यों करा? इसने straw क्यों नहीं डाल दिया अंदर?
That's a very good question.
Another one said, ma'am, if I'm thirsty, मुझे पानी नहीं पीना था, Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
And then the third one says, oh, the pebbles were dirty. Why will I drink dirty water? Why will I drink dirty water? So there are three perspectives to it. Maybe my choice is not drinking water, or my choice is having a soda, or oh, I want to drink clean water. So the child figured so many things out of that. Why am I capping it by saying that, okay, whatever you want to achieve, you work hard for it? Why not work smart?
Right.
This is the era of critical thinking, creative thinking.
Right.
And we are not, if we are not letting the child go creative, then
right.
So
Right. Ma'am, do you think that this age group, particular age group, because kids are very young, there is a need to build that foundation for them? Because everybody think our crucial years start once we come in 10th, 11th, 12th. You know, what are your thoughts on it? Like, are we taking the right approach if we are thinking in that way?
So no? I feel, it's the fact that your brain cells stop developing at the age of about 7 or 8.
Oh, 7 or 8, it means we are in which class?
7 or 8 is about second or third grade. हाँ? शाहरुख खान का एक शो था. आप 5वीं पास.
Yes.
क्यों था? क्योंकि जितना आपने 5वीं तक सीखा है उतना सीख लिया. उसके बाद you're only
reiterating it.
So that's the whole.
Okay. That's why I read an article somewhere. It says that most of the, I don't know, some percentage of mind grow this to this age.
80% of the mind is developed by the age of 3. That's why we learn our whole language by the age of 3.
Right. So that environment, the kind of environment which we are providing them, actually impacts a lot in terms of what kind of behavior a student show when they come into the.
So then our parents who come and tell us, ma'am, such a young child, how will they be able to do this? Or you're speaking only in English to them all the time, how can they reciprocate? I said, you're talking to them in Hindi all the time. They are with no language.
Right.
So they're grasping it. आप उसको तो ये नहीं बताते हो कि नीचे का मतलब डाउन होता है, बेटा नीचे यानी ये होता है. आप बस सीधा बोलते हो, बेटा नीचे बैठ जाओ, बेटा रुक जाओ. The child grasps in the process.
Oh.
That is how their brain functions.
Right.
So if you want to teach them something, until the age of 3, they've learnt it. Otherwise, वो कहते हैं ना, घड़ा पक्का हो गया. मिट्टी का घड़ा पकने के बाद मोल्ड करने में बहुत डिफिकल्टी आती है.
Right.
So whatever I'm going to learn, that age is actually very crucial. This critical thinking, this being creative, being collaborative, being social. People say that, oh, I don't want to send my child until 3 or 4 in a preschool. 3 years की एज तक बच्चे को सिर्फ पता है मुझे मेरे दादू दादी मम्मा पापा से डील करना है.
Right.
Social skills are limited to that. If you don't expose them to 50 other kids, they will never. You, me, or anyone who's listening to this right now, tell the truth. The moment you stand on a stage today, don't your feet
shake.
What else?
Absolutely. No matter how many times you go, it happens always.
Talking to parents today, I don't know, sometimes you're conducting. Because for us, it is not something, it's not an innate habit. It's not something that I've done until the age of 5. But if I'm giving a child stage exposure, in the age gap of 2 to 5, that child is never going to shake his leg.
Right. Ma'am, I've never thought about it, but now because you're talking, now I'm thinking back. I see so many students who are in school, they're very shy, they're very talented. they know all the gadgets and everything, but they are very shy in terms of making new friends, talking to people. We've given them a name, introvert, and parents are very, बहुत परेशान भी रहते हैं कि ये बोलता नहीं है, बात नहीं करती है. Maybe is it because of that younger childhood
upbringing, and then maybe we as parents, I'm not saying that only the school is responsible.
Right.
The school and parents play an equivalent part in the growth and development of a child.
Right.
So, okay, school पे तो उस बच्चे ने स्टेज पे खड़े होके बोल लिया. घर पे जब relatives आते हैं, the parents telling बेटा, quiet, मस्ती मत करो, चुपचाप बैठो. उस बच्चे के दिमाग में ये ingrain हो गया that when I'm meeting someone new, I have to. ऐसे बैठते हैं बच्चे. This is a closed personality type. We don't realize subconsciously we are learning all this.
And there's a different segment of personality, right?
Then I mean, we very conveniently call it, oh, the child is introvert. नहीं है, हमने बनाया है, हमने उसको बताया है कि बेटा कोई आता है घर पे तो ऐसे बैठते हैं, हिलते नहीं हैं, खाते नहीं है, बोलते नहीं है. हमारे सबकॉन्शियस ने उसको एक्सेप्ट कर लिया है. And that I'm going to be like, right. No matter how old I grow, my first reaction to a new situation will be this.
Right. And that directly leads later on when they become older in terms of like they feel lonely, right? And then other problems like depression and all of those things comes. Because few years back it used to be a foreign concept, but now we see our 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old, and I ask them, why don't you call someone and talk to them, maybe your friends? They're like, no, I don't want to talk to anyone, nobody understands. Maybe this is all somehow interrelated.
It is all interrelated. It is also the skill of listening.
Right.
That maybe we as parents lack. We as educators definitely need to develop that. I mean, I think we have this concept of sitting together on Saturdays. We call it talking Saturdays, chatting Saturdays. So all the kids, they sit in a circle and they stand up and they tell each other that how was your day, what did you do, what is your favorite thing to eat, what, so that they are comfortable with the concept of telling. And we have regular sessions when it comes to emotion sharing.
Right.
So because we in Indian culture, we have this thought that being angry is bad.
Yeah.
Showing that you're angry or upset with someone is bad.
Right.
Especially females.
Right.
लड़कियां गुस्सा नहीं करती हैं, ऊंची आवाज में बात नहीं करती. It's a bad thing to do. You are asking the child to suppress their feelings.
Yes.
So I'm feeling angry. Why not give it a shout? Okay, fine. You don't want a child to shout. Maybe you calm them down, make them sit, and you tell them, "Acha beta, batao. What is wrong? Why are you angry?" And then sort it out for the child. Either you sort it out, or you listen to them.
Right.
Ask them to suppress. Because abhi to we want a child which is sitting quietly, which is not shouting, which is not crying. It's very nice right now, but the child, when they grow 18 and they face real life issues and they're not able to speak it out, they still decide to remain quiet.
Right.
Is leading to mental health issues. Why is it so strong today?
Right.
Because we are leading that culture. And even back then, I think we all grew up in an era like that.
Right.
But I hope that, even parents and even teachers and, school leaders these days are grasping to the concept of emotion management.
Right.
Right. And I hope people who are listening to this, they should start even today onward doing this, that please don't stop a child from expressing their anger.
Right. That is very, very important. And I feel this management skill helps at every stage of life. Whether you're a working professional or in your personal life or you're starting a business, all of those places. Because if you know how to manage people, manage your emotion, you can succeed, actually do something, some good in your life, right?
I mean, this depression and anxiety is something that is being seen in the kids starting from the age of 7 or 8.
Right.
The moment they grow up, they start feeling things more strongly.
Right.
But they yet decide to suppress it.
Right.
And even in their teenage years, when they hit puberty.
Right.
Puberty is going to do a lot to your hormones.
Right.
And if your child is not able to speak to you about the crush that they are having, about the fight that they had with their boyfriend or girlfriend, okay, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, it's better that they're coming and speaking to you instead of going and dealing with it themselves.
Right.
It's much.
Ma'am, you just mentioned about the relationship. I was checking some podcast out, and then they were talking about some person was there, Nikhil Kamath, yes. He said, but now because he's a public figure and young children look at him, and he gave obviously justification for that. He said, I don't believe in the concept of getting married and having kids because it takes away my year of my life. And when so many people, young people, they were listening to it, they said, yeah, we completely agree to it. We don't want to spend our time and energy on the other person, or other person is going to stop my growth. What are your thoughts on it?
So it's a very interesting thing, because everyone loves their liberty.
Right.
And if in a relationship you don't feel liberated,
right,
then you're going to give such a statement. And there's no harm in it. We grew up, it is the truth that we grew up where we saw our parents where, the mothers were not very exposed and the fathers used to go out and, if there was a fight, we saw our mothers also shedding a tear or two.
Yeah.
So we've seen that culture. And like I just told you, my subconscious is going to accept that fact. I may be a Nitin Kamath. I am much more elder than that. I've grown out of that.
Right.
But I am stuck with that thought that in a relationship, a woman always tries to hold the man back because one is not given enough liberty.
So it's a childhood memory impact.
Yeah. It's all connected. It's all rooting back there. If I saw the experience of my parents being loving towards each other, giving each other that liberty, respecting each other most importantly, I will be a fan of getting married. I'm sure our kids are going to be a fan of being married because this new age, women are, moving as fast as a man is in their life.
Right.
As independent as a man is in their life.
Right.
And they're going to have a good experience of marriage.
Wow, ma'am, you have changed the whole perspective of the way I used to think. Now, if I come across any particular situation or if some person is going to talk, I'm going to think in that way. What might have happened during their childhood?
The past. It's all the past. So whenever you go to a therapist, right? I haven't been myself, luckily. But when we see in the movies, these therapists, they'll ask you, Asha, what is the childhood moment? First childhood memory. That is the first question they root back to your child. People, they who are closed off or who get anger issues, right? And they get anger burst outs. Why does that happen? Because those people have seen a not so pleasant childhood.
Right.
They have seen, certain kind of control from their parents through their life. So they get these outbursts on that. Now I have the liberty to express myself. I'm going to come out here.
Right. So that again brings back to today's topic of ours. That why early childhood is the most important part of our whole growing up journey. Ma'am, before we finish this podcast, any last message, one career advice or life advice in general would you like to give to all our youngsters and to young parents also?
To the young parents, I am sure that, we've already talked about a lot. What my just one line I'd close, that give whatever you would have wanted from your parents to your child. And your job is done. The day you imagine that, okay, maybe if my mother did this, I would have been a better person. If my father did this, I would have been a better person. Do that to your child. Well, that's it. And to the youngsters, get married.
Get married is not that scary. Right. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today on this podcast. I'm really sure this must have opened eyes for a lot of people out there who take early childhood education very lightly because that plays a very important role in terms of how exactly our children are going to turn out once they grow up. So stay tuned, keep watching, and thank you for listening. Ma'am, thank you once again for coming.
Once again.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.